So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us purity and sobriety from these diseases. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen.
MashaAllah, tabarakallah, Sheikh Wael. We're glad you didn't mention which of the African countries. May Allah bless you. All right, inshallah, I'll go to Sheikh Yahya. You know, Sheikh Yahya, Sheikh Wael asked a question, how many people have kids here? A lot of people were raising their hands. When he asked first, some people kept their hands down. But the second time he asked, a lot of people took their hands up. My question to you is, how do parents handle, their boys and girls who are becoming adult in this toxic society we live in today? Considering the movies they watch, the music they listen to, how do parents, help their kids become the best version of themselves?
Alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa ba'd. Just because I'm sensitive of the shortness of time, so I'll just speak about important bullet points, because there's a lot to be said about this topic. The first of them is absolute love. So your children need to know that nobody on the face of the earth has more love for them than you. Sadly, many of us, we assume that if we give a tougher stance, if we don't show rahmah, if we, teach him to be a man, stop crying, hold yourself together. We try to toughen up our sons, and we try to make our daughters ready to be wives, and you have to do this and that, and the cleaning and we forget to show an excessive love. What that results in is that they will seek it elsewhere. So they will seek it from their peers, from their friends, and sadly, sometimes even from strangers. May Allah protect us. The second thing that's important is to focus on the words of the Prophet ﷺ correctly. So for example, and I'll only use this as example and end with it inshaAllah. The Prophet ﷺ, there's a famous hadith where he said, teach your children to pray from the age of 7. أُأْمُرُوهُمْ بِالصَّلَاةِ. Command them to pray from the age of 7. And then at the age of 10, discipline them. اضربوهم. Discipline them. Most people, what they do is they jump over the 3-year period and they come to a place where they show anger, hostility to a son, to a daughter who is not regular in their prayer, breaking the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. It's something I failed in, maybe many of us have failed in. I want you to imagine that your son, 7 years old, your daughter, 7 years old, and those of you who don't have children, pay attention to what I'm saying. If you are going to follow the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, there is no discipline, no yelling, no threat, no anger, no hostility, no even a face of disregard to your child from the age of, up to the age of 10. So imagine there it is, your little boy Umar, Abu Bakr, whoever in front of you, age of 7 years old. Salatul Fajr comes, you wake him up. Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha. 5 times a day, 7 days a week, 35 salah. For 1 month, for 12 months. Do you know how many times, if you follow the sunnah, you would have said to this child, pray with me? 5,480 times. None of them with hostility. None of them with, how dare you miss your salah? Don't you know that Allah will punish? None of them with anger. Muruhum bis-salah. How many of us, subhanallah, we take these words of the Prophet ﷺ? Can you imagine your son 5,400 times? You hold him with your hand and you go to the masjid, you wake him up out of bed in the Fajr and Isha, and they have seen you pray 5,480 salah. And then they would be at the age of 10 and they say, forget salah? Wallahi, it doesn't happen. But نحن خالفنا السنة. We are selective with the sunnah. We like the sunnah when it sounds good for our benefit. But it's hard. The sunnah of the Nabi ﷺ is a rahmah, if we look at it in the way that it was intended, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is why Anas ibn Malik, Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As, Abdullah ibn Umar, Zayd ibn Thabit, the young Sahaba amongst the Prophet ﷺ, all of them would say, we found nobody more merciful, more kind, more compassionate, more gentle, more easygoing, more than Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Nobody. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to invest our life in our children. I leave you with the last bit of advice because we were speaking about mobile phones. My daughter, mashallah, 16 years old, she doesn't have a mobile phone. My son, 15, no mobile phone. My son, 12, no mobile phone. There's a mobile phone that we have for the family that when they are going out, they can take that mobile phone. It doesn't belong to anyone, it's for the family. But where it becomes concrete in that this mobile phone is not a part of your body. Our children today, we have become cyborgs, meaning that technology is merged into us. That the phone is an extension of your consciousness. Your banking, your food, everything it exists here. When I go home, even ask our brother Abu Bakr, sometimes they get upset with me. I take a long time to respond. Wallahi, sometimes maybe it might take me 2 days, 3 days to respond. Why? The moment I come home from work, at 4 o'clock, my phone, it's left on, is in a box on top of the fridge. My wife, she comes home, the phone is on top of the fridge. At 9:30, maybe once or twice I will look at my phone, something important, maybe. 9:30, the kids are getting ready for sleep, we finished our Isha, khalas, I pick up my phone again, nothing important, go through my email, nothing important, put it back. If you do not model salah, if you do not model hijab, if you do not push away the phone, if you are attached to it even when you speak to your children, your son, your daughter, they come and ask you a question and you're like, yeah, inshallah, I'll take it tomorrow. There is no hope for their survival if you have failed in your own survival. May Allah protect us, Ya Rabb. May Allah guide our hearts and uplift us and allow our iman and the iman of the people of Nigeria to remain this natural iman. That's what I was talking about. Natural iman, natural akhlaq, natural adab. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep you honoring to the ulama, honoring to the ilm, honoring to the Quran, honoring to the reading of the book of Allah, honoring to the luh. The luh, that you write the Quran and memorize the Quran, honoring to that which is tradition, will only make your future better bi-idhnillahi ta'ala.
Jazakallah khair, barakallah wa shukran shakana. May Allah bless you.